Hi, this is Theresa Hebert, your co-host for The Goddess Emergence with Dr. Brie Gibbs. And today we're going to talk about what's happening on the planet and why it's happening, why it's important now more than ever to bring out our goddess light. So we're in the greatest shift of consciousness right now that the earth has ever known. And there's so many changes that are happening around us. So is this going to continue? Is this going to be our new normal? What can we do to help ourselves and others as we continue to shift into the fourth light? So let's find out what Dr. Brie has to say about this. So please welcome Dr. Brie Gibbs.
Hi, Theresa. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Fine. Let's talk about the great shift of consciousness right now. First of all, we're in it right now. It's here. And the fourth light is here. And this great shift of consciousness is hitting the planet. And the guide told me years ago, when the shift hits, it's going to get a little worse before it gets better. And that's what's happening right now with the writing that's happening. So much love is hitting the planet right now that a lot of people can't understand it. So they're getting angry. And yes, truth needs to come out. I will agree with that. And there are good police officers and there are bad ones. There are good firemen and bad firemen and doctors and lawyers and whatever. I'm not just saying one person or one entity. I'll say it that way. The thing is that this had to happen. The truth had to come out about many things. Our government, even our own lives, including mine. As you know, I've taken some time off to work on me because there were things that I was not facing about myself that I had to face. And it took a lot of heartache and pain and tears, but yet I overcome it. And now I'm ready to start talking to people again. So with this great shift of consciousness that's here in the fourth light, how can you not be happy with all the Christ consciousness hitting the planet right now? And for me and others that I've talked to and clients that I've had, and I talked to them last from the weekend to yesterday, they're saying they feel the love energy. And that's what's so important now, that we feel love and be love. I love how God's era says, for there is nothing more and nothing less you will need. And that is so true. So if you step back and you look at the world in a loving way and with the Christ consciousness in you and the love, you're going to see a bright new future out there. And with the people that are rioting right now, and Black Lives Matter, but all lives matter also. I want to put that in there right now. We all come from different heritages. We all have past lives. We don't remember every past life we had. So that's why I'm saying all lives matter. And the thing is, if they would just step back and think about love, the process would be so much easier for everyone. That's my opinion on that part of the planet right now.
I agree. I'm wondering, and I think we've heard this question come up before too, but you know, the creative force has its job, and Mother Earth and Goddess Gaia has her job, but do they work together?
That's really a good question. No, they do not. And here's a real simple answer. Creative force is of love. So why would the creative force want to be on the planet? Mother Earth, this is her job. Her job is to protect the planet and the goddesses that are here to protect the planet and help the people on the planet. So they have two separate jobs. Creative force is not going to get involved in anything that is not of harmony and love. That's what I'll say on that part.
Yes. You know, I've had a number of people ask me this question, so I'll ask the question of you too. Aren't you worried about the planet right now? I mean, are things going to change? Is this going to keep happening? What's going on?
Are you kidding? I am so happy what's happening on the planet.
Mhm.
I've been down with Gaia and saw things change and what she's shifting every day, every moment. I can't get down to the seconds and time of it. But when you go down to healing waters, that shifts to a new area. And she's shifting the planet constantly. And this virus is here to do a very special job that people are thinking on a bad note that it is killing people. But a lot of people didn't that have left. By a wonderful guide I got this information from have left because they didn't want to be here anyway. And so, and I know that sounds kind of cruel, but they're having a big old party upstairs. That's what I want to say, you know. And the thing is that no, I'm not worried about the planet because I see the future. So if you look outside through it with love, and you look outside and you see the house that should have been painted across the street from me looks brand new now. So the world is shifting, the planet is shifting, and we're all shifting right now with this energy. So no, I'm not worried about the planet. I know it's taken care of, and God's guy is doing her job, and we're doing ours.
Perfect. So let's talk about the love and the need and the things that we can do for ourselves. I've heard you talk a lot about the goddess light and life. Let's talk about goddess light for everybody so we understand what that is and how we begin to bring the love in.
Okay, so with the God's light, once you embrace it, truly embrace it, you can't help but shine. But it's something that you really want. We just don't say we're a goddess and we just protect the planet. We do a lot more than that. So I could make you a big list right now, but a couple of things. We're healers, we're teachers, we're students also, because we constantly learn. And we're here to guide people. That's the most important thing, to help guide people. And we are to be humble, but show humbleness to others also. Um, there's an experience I had this weekend where I went somewhere and I saw a gentleman pick up picking up garbage where I was at. And I knew he was a homeless man. Something kept making me watch him. And I had a package of baby wipes that I sit in my console in my car. And it's a good thick pack. And I asked the man if he would like that. And he says, yes, please. Because I had seen him pick up a bottle of water that was down a ways. And he was washing his hands with it. And that's showing kindness and love. And that's what guys do. It's not all about, just we're here to protect the planet. Who knows who that man was? I didn't know who he was, but I knew he needed that. And then when I got up to the window, what I was doing, we got him what he needed and juice and water and made sure that this was given to him. And just a small act of kindness can do so much. But the goddesses right now, if you're an incarnated goddess, it's just not supporting the women. Goddesses are men also. So you have goddess and God his. And it was not for the goddess. Oh, excuse me, man, I'm sick there. If it was not for the God realm, the goddesses would not be here. Now, I'm going to save that for another show because that's a long subject. But the gods were created and the God's light was created to work together to help people on the planet and bring this information forward that's coming out now in the fourth light.
Well, that's great. I really want to hear more about that. And I know we're going to pick that up on another show where we could, go in a lot more detail on that. But I want to pick up on something that you said about why we're here. In part is to guide others. And you and I've talked about we're not here to interrupt anyone's journey, but we are here to be the teachers and guidance. Can
Yes,
you talk a little bit more about that?
sure. The thing is that the more that we do our own journey, the more we expand our consciousness and our blueprint, also, that's in the pineal gland, we expand it and we age our soul. So every lesson that we learn becomes an experience, and then it's done, and we age our soul. So as goddesses, we're here to guide. I'm not going to tell people they're wrong on anything. It's not my journey, and it's not their journey to tell me what I'm saying is wrong. And so we want to be really careful when we guide people. And as I guided some of my clients, putting the black diamond in the heart, right? The thing is, we want to make sure that we do it with love, no matter what we do, and do not step over any boundaries, because it's their journey. So I had a client that I did healing on a couple days ago, and there was extreme pain. And so I went in and did the healing on the person, but that person has to do the healing work just as much as I have to. So it's healing together, or it will not work. I can give somebody all my knowledge that I've received that I'm holding on to right now, that is my personal knowledge. And I could give that to you, but you wouldn't know how to work it unless I teach you to work it. And that's why I teach my clients when I'm healing or whatever for what they need to do. And the thing that I tell everybody, 5 breath meditation. Yeah. But I also tell them this is what you need to do for yourself. And if they come back the next day, it's like, let me check it out again. Why? And why is this problem happening again? But sometimes it's their journey to finish out the healing. And so the goddesses right now are so needed right now on the planet because of the COVID-19 virus. That's very important. We're here to share love and spread love to everyone and support them. The other thing is that we should be doing is letting everyone know to honor this virus. So I may be repeating myself, and I'm sorry for that, but it's here to do a job. It's going to be here for a while longer. And I'm not going to give a timeline out, but it's going to be here. So wearing the mask, and you can believe you're not going to get it. And that's setting a mind, an intention and a mastermind in you. But you want to wear that virus out of respect for others and yourself and for the virus. So
Yes, it is all about honoring and respecting what's going on in the environment, you know. Are there any last comments or words of advice that you'd like to give us as we ask people to, stay in a state of love? Where can they start with that?
start with yourself. That has been my biggest thing over the last 7 to 9 months, is working on myself. Um, I can't use clients, so I won't unless I have permission. But there's one I can use. I've seen such a big change, a client that I've had for 5 years now, and I've seen this change in her. And in the last 3 years of abundantly changing, where she has come from giving, now becoming the goddess and doing it out of, not because she has to, because she wants to, out of love. So if you give things out of love, that's the greatest gift you can give. And right now we're having to be careful. So I always say air hug, or virtual hug, if I'm on the computer, and zooming with the client, I'll say virtual hug, air hug, you know, and so, but love right now is something that you have to really want. And stay out of the fight out here. That's the one thing. Stay out of the fight, because you're only harming yourself if you get involved in the fighting. I'm not talking about the protesting. I'm just saying anything, a fight. Anybody that you don't agree with, stay away from it. Walk away and just say, that's their lesson, not mine. I think it's really important that people understand whose lesson's who. Because if, how is it? If I make a mistake, that's my lesson. But if somebody else makes the mistake, it's their lesson. And so if somebody comes across you in a harsher tone or angry tone, and you read this email and you say, or the person says something, kindly walk away from it and tell them to have a nice day or don't answer the email at all because you're engaging in the fight. And you don't want to do that. Because if you fight, then you hit the flight and you're going to run. And then you're going to hit the freeze and you're going to stop doing what you're doing. And a lot of us teachers and everyone need to know not to be in that state. Because otherwise, if I'm in that fright and freeze and flight, all of it, right? I wouldn't be sitting here doing this video today either. So all I can say is stay in love. Use that love. Bring in the Creator's love into your heart, the beater part of your heart. And I'll be talking about the black diamond. And we're going to be teaching people about the black diamond. Actually, God's here, Raul. We're talking about that more than me. And putting the black diamond in the heart. And it's a beater part of your heart. And when you get down deep inside, how that feels. And why we need that black diamond in there now. And that's from 76,000 years ago, where she put the black diamond in. So all I can say is stay in love. Not like mushy love. I want to hug everybody. A spiritual love that's eternal and that never goes away. And once you truly embrace that, you can't help but love everyone. And I can honestly say, Theresa, there is no one I don't like. I can, and I thought about that several times. And my husband will say something. I said, you don't have a right to judge a person or judge yourself. He goes, well, what do you mean? And I'll explain. He goes, oh, I get it. And I see the change in him by working on myself and sharing what I'm learning with my husband has made a great difference in my home, even. And with friends of mine and the clients and everything else. So that's kind of where I'm at, Teresa, on that.
Well, thank you for sharing all of that. I know it's going to be very exciting and fun to hear about how to really embrace your inner goddess, because that's where the love really and the light really comes from. So we're going to hear about that from Goddess Ra and from Dr. Brie on our future programs. So please join us again as we bring forth more information. Thank you. And Goddess blessings.